What is up, everyone? Today, I'm excited to open up the closet and share all of the things that I have been dabbling with, experimenting with, coming up with the direction, trying to find out the direction I want to carry my art in as I go forward and continue to progress along this art journey that I've been on. So, there are quite a few things to cover here. We have pencil drawings, we have ink, we have alcohol markers, we even have watercolor. And so, I'm going to dive right into this, starting with what is in front of me, which is something that is very iconic. You probably notice what it's from already. It is Bridgman drawings, and these are from this book here, George Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy. And I have been drawing quite a few of these. I haven't drawn much of them recently, but here are the ones that I went through. It started with uh, some basic movements, and the thing I love about Bridgman is just the line work, the shapes. I mean, it it's just this classic, very nice look that his drawings come away with. Very distinctive. I I love it. You will notice that there are some on the drawings before I come in and put down the final marks. And so if you take a close look there, you will see some of those on the drawings, but of course, coming in importantly with a more confident line over the top. And I'm just going to go through quite a few of these. These are still some of the movement pieces here. And then the next section was hands. And this is the section that I actually ended up staying in. But again, just just the shapes that his lines create are just phenomenal to copy. Really like how they look. More handwork, just copying page from page. As you can see here, the page numbers are at the bottom. So copying out the entire pages. And the question I had to ask myself going through this is it really helping me get better at hands? Um, well, I can say that in my sketchbook, which I will be showing in the next video, it has gotten easier to draw hands. And I don't know whether that's just from drawing Bridgman itself, just from continued repetition, that a lot of things are getting easier. I don't know. But I'm going to say yes because the more we practice something, the better we tend to get at it. So this was Bridgman's hands that I went through. These here, I was planning to do a leaf demo. I may still do it. I may not. I don't know. We will see. We will see. But I was setting up exactly what I wanted to do, how I wanted to lay out the video. If you think it's something that I should still do, let me know. Again, this was going through some of the designs I probably wanted to show. Just laying out a lot of different types of leaves. And yeah, did not end up doing this lesson after all, but it was good practice for me doing a lot of leaves. Here was some more work with construction. This is something I'm going to be doing a lot more of because of the direction I'm carrying my art in. Again, that's going to be upcoming, but this was just one page. And of course, now I have a sketchbook, so um, no more loose leaves. Here is the point where I decided to jump in more fully into the brush pen. So you can see me practicing some of my lines, practicing some basic cubes, trying to do just random things. Really like how this little plant turned out at the bottom here. Was pretty cool. But yeah, this was the first page. I opened it up and was just trying all kind of things that I had seen other people do using brush pens. And again, these are uh, the hard and soft brush pens here from Tumbo. That's what I was using here. Just bought a new pack because I don't want them to run out on me. I really, by the way, I really enjoy using ink, and it's definitely going to be a part of the direction I'm going in for art. I just love the strong contrast on the page. It I just fell in love with it. So that's definitely going to be a part of what I do going forward, as far as I can tell, at least for the near future. Really love how ink looks. Here I was again getting more and more into ink, trying this portrait out, which it's funny, when I started diving into this, I was really kind of nervous about how it was turning out, and then it turned out really well. um, so yeah, I really liked this page, trying some trees. This was something I saw on a YouTube channel. I don't know if I saved the video, but it was someone doing their process for trees, and so I tried it out. It's a really cool cross hatching technique for inking. Here I was trying a few more strategies with some cross hatching in different ways, and then just a scribble approach, which I then employed several other places because I really like how this turned out as well. Uh, and if you follow me, you probably have seen a video where I did a scribble approach on a figure, but there was some before that. So here was the pair. Like how that turned out. This was the one prior. I really like how this turned out as well. So I did not have this one recorded, and so I did not put it up, but um, really like how that one turned out. This was the one that came out on the video. I actually liked this one. I actually like how this one turned out more than this one that I actually got recorded, but that is how it goes. All right. So that's it for the loose leaves. I'm going to hop over here to my marker paper, and there's some of this that you would have seen already from my previous videos, so I'm going to skip to where I have it marked. This you would have seen prior. Make sure we're on the screen. And here I started dabbling with some of the other colors as well. This was from reference. The colors are slightly different because I didn't have the colors from the reference, but I like how that turned out as well, using the brush pen around the sides, outlining in a little bit of ink, doing some smaller figures, playing with color. This is my family. Tried this portrait of fruits. Do you call them portraits if they're fruits? But really like how that ended up turning out. The colors I have are really muted colors, and so the set I have of alcohol markers are actually grays, and so these are some of the yellow grays, blue grays, some of the warm grays. So I'm really using actually just grays to produce this. But it turned out really well. This was from a watercolor presentation done by I don't remember the name of the guy's channel now, but I'll put it in the description. Um, but I mentioned him in my watercolor video as well. But yeah, copied it with alcohol markers instead of the watercolor that he was using. Really like how that turned out. And here was my attempt at doing a figure with the alcohol markers. All right, so that is the alcohol markers. And now I'm going to switch over once again to the watercolors. So this first image here is that same pair demonstration. This time I jumped in with the watercolors, and yeah, okay, it was a learning process. Okay, so there are some things that happened here that went totally wrong, and learned from them. The watercolor and the colors were going everywhere. Um, and so I jumped down here to this section, tried to get a little bit a hang of how the colors were moving, and then hopped into some more tutorials. So this is the same channel from that gentleman. Again, I will link in the description some of his tutorials. We have this first image that he demoed, ran out of blue ink and had to remix and finish off these sections here. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. Was testing out how to do some green blues at the bottom. And this is yet again another tutorial that he did with cherries in a bowl. And I experimented with splashing some water here, which totally ruined the value layout. But again, there's a lot to fix on these, but still kind of like how they turned out compared to the pairs in that one. And this is the last watercolor page. Try to get a little bit more control on the first wash going through, trying to work with mixing colors a little bit better, trying again repetition, trying things slightly different, seeing how they're turning out, experimenting, kind of that deliberate practice that I always talk about in terms of trying to make progress, making notes about what I did, how it turned out, like how the leaf turned out here. This bottom section is what I really like. It had a small tilt, barely wet, and this time I left out the highlight lines. So here you'd see the highlights kind of outlined. Here I just randomly did them without outlining them first, and I preferred how this looked in the end. And so as you can see here, I stopped doing the outline of the highlights. And so again, this is kind of an iteration practice that I use. This one kind of got away from me because I laid it flat too soon, and so the water ran backwards, all part of the learning. And then tried a few things here, laying them flat, trying to get these blueberries out, which yeah, it didn't really work out as I intended. So those are all the sheets that you've been missing. The only things that are still missing now is the sketchbook that I am going to go through in the next video. This one has already ran quite a bit. So in the next video, I'll be showing you what I've been doing in my sketchbook so far and unveiling where I plan to take my art, what direction we're going to be headed in. So stay tuned for that video. If you on the journey already subscribed, thank you for being a subscriber. If you want to see how I progress, how I learn to draw, how I learn art, feel free to subscribe and follow me on this journey. My goal here is to bring a little bit of inspiration to those of you who are also learning art, and hoping that we can both inspire each other as we go along this art journey. I am a hobbyist doing this for the love of art, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.